News 3's closed captioning is funded by Centel, where people connect. You turn to a friend. KVBC Las Vegas. Now, News 3 at 5.
And this morning, FBI.
Good evening. 51 days long, the standoff between the federal government and a religious cult is over. It ended in a fiery inferno that was too intense and moved too fast for many of the 96 people inside the compound to even escape. The fire followed an assault by federal agents. They used armored vehicles to punch holes in the walls of the compound, then pumped in tear gas. Our top story tonight, Tony Clark reports that only 8 cult members survived, none of them children.
David Koresh, we believe, gave the order to commit suicide, and they all followed willingly his orders.
It was an apparent self-fulfilling prophecy. The cult leaders and more than 85 of his followers dying in the raging fire that destroyed the Branch Davidian compound.
We were hoping, again, as I stated this morning, by the infusion of gas into that compound, that the women in that compound would grab their children and flee out. That did not occur. Unfortunately, they bunkered down the children the best we can tell, and they allowed those children to go up in flames with them.
So far, it appears that only 8 cult members survived. Most have been taken to hospitals where they're being treated for burns and smoke inhalation. The fire is believed to have been started by the cult members when they could no longer hold out from the onslaught of the tear gas, even though many were wearing gas masks. The FBI says they believe the cult members started the fire with lantern fuel.
The gas had absolutely nothing to do with the fire that occurred in that compound.
Meanwhile, Attorney General Janet Reno says she approved the FBI plan to use tear gas and takes full responsibility for the raid.
I, therefore, approved the plan, which had been developed by the FBI after very careful study, after discussion with people in the field, after unanimous representation from the field, that this was the best way to achieve a resolution of this matter without further loss of life.
Attorney General Reno said that she went ahead with the assault plan after hearing that some of the children were being abused in the compound. She said that if she had known the chances of mass suicide were that high, she would have never approved the plan.
Well, they won't know for sure about the survivors until they search the areas that were below ground, but one ATF officer says there was no tunnel complex that would have protected the cultists.
Here in our area, Metro officers are back on regular schedules tonight after a weekend of what's called full mobilization. Nearly everyone on the department reported to work on Saturday when the verdicts were delivered in the Rodney King civil rights trial. But when the streets remained calm, the department geared down. Denise Rosh is in the newsroom now. A lot of intensity leading up to this moment, Denise. And now that it's over with, what's the feeling among officers?
Well, Sarah, officers I talked to today are very relieved to have this trial behind us. They say the weekend was remarkably peaceful, maybe even more so than a typical weekend in Las Vegas. And with the possibility of violence fading fast, they say now it's time to get back to their day-to-day duties on the streets. Living life under a microscope. That's how one Metro police officer describes this job during the past few weeks. With the verdicts in and the peace still intact, that close scrutiny might finally be over with. And so are the long hours officers worked this weekend. Just 2 days after a full mobilization, the Metro command post at Cashman Field is slowly coming down.
We've done the efforts that we needed to make sure that everybody communicated and we had a plan on how we were going to address all those concerns, all those angers, all that bitterness out there that developed into what occurred last year.
One thing officers will continue to watch, Clark County schools. Certainly no trouble is expected, but police are making sure our youngest Las Vegans are well protected, just in case. One patrol officer I talked to says he's received nothing but support from people on the street.
With as many police officers as we had out, we pretty much hopefully calmed a lot of people down. We hit the malls, parking lots, grocery stores, shopping centers, talked to people, let them know that, fortunately in Las Vegas, everyone was responding well and we didn't have any problems.
So far, there's no exact tally on how much the department had to shell out in overtime this weekend, but several $100,000 isn't a bad estimate. Was all the training and all the preparation worth it? According to Lieutenant Fruget, you bet.
The plans, the logistics centers, all the training that our officers went through, we can respond much quicker now. we know, we're confident that the training and the equipment we purchase is going to help us to save lives in the future and keep the peace.
And as you saw, the command post at Cashman Field is coming down, but it won't be entirely dismantled for another week or so. And again, that's just in case, by some slim chance, something should happen. Sarah?
Denise, we talked for weeks about all the training Metro went through in case of a riot. Can they parlay that experience into other situations?
Well, they sure can. Lieutenant Fruget says that all that training that we've showed you out at the Silver Bowl the last couple of months, it could be used, for example, during a major catastrophe, maybe an earthquake or a fire at a hotel, if that should happen. So it wasn't just strictly riot training, if you will, and it certainly wasn't a waste of time.
Okay, thank you very much. That's Denise Roche live in our newsroom.
And Sarah, one group that's been out trying to keep the peace in West Las Vegas for some time now says its work is just beginning. Community Peace formed about a month and a half ago to address unrest and racism in the community. That group's leader tells Katie McCall the King verdict was just one hurdle in an obstacle course that never ends.
Orange jackets everywhere. Community Peace might be the new kid on the block, but the kid is not having any trouble finding something to do. Founder Elgin Simpson gives Community Peace some of the credit for keeping West Las Vegas calm after the King verdicts. And Simpson believes that verdict was just the beginning.
Right. Community Peace was never designed just to deal with the Rodney King verdict. It was designed to deal with the social and economic and problems of the community, and to try to bridge the communities together so people would have a better understanding of each other.
Simpson says Community Peace will now focus on changing what he views as a racist court system.
Because we believe that the judicial system is biased in the way that they deal with our people in general, minorities in general.
Simpson plans to take questionnaires to the projects where Community Peace operates. Residents will be asked if they feel they're treated fairly. Community Peace has already started working with the justice system. They worked out a deal last week with Justice and Municipal Court. Anyone who has outstanding traffic tickets and a bench warrant can come down here to court, or the court in the city where they live, get that warrant lifted and pay a fine. The warrant suspension and now the justice system examination are both ideas that came out of meetings inside the communities. Katie McCall, News 3.
The Nevada Supreme Court is looking into the question of racism in the court system. The High Court will try to determine whether people of all races are treated equally.
People in the Northwest already know how to avoid the Buffalo Interchange, one of the worst places for traffic in our area. But an end to the troubles is in sight. We'll explain in a moment.
Hey, America, did you know that the Ford F-Series is the best-selling truck in the country and has been for 16 years running? Well, now we're proud to announce the best-selling car in America is the Ford Taurus. It's Ford's commitment to customer satisfaction that proves to you that we're not satisfied until you're satisfied, which proves to the rest of the world that in America, the best will never rest.
Of all the ways you can furnish your home, one of the most beautiful ways is with Andersen feature windows and patio doors. Classic lines shape the light that shapes your mood. Elegant designs bring the warmth of tradition, the comfort of nature. Ordinary furnishings create a look. Andersen windows create an experience.
There has never been a show like it. Peter Jackson's spectacular King Arthur's Tournament. For tickets, call 597-7600. Two dinner performances nightly. King Arthur's Tournament. You won't believe your eyes.
We're dealing at Garden Ford on Nevada's best inventory of Explorers, priced right, in stock, and ready to drive away. A Garden Ford Explorer will take you anywhere you want to go. Quality, durability, fuel efficiency, car-like comfort, and convenience have made Explorer the #1 selling utility vehicle in America. Get great garden prices on all Explorers, with the exciting sport model starting at just $16,966. In or out of the snow, the Explorer is right for you. Garden Ford Porsche, conveniently located at 2121 East Sahara.
Now, Traffic with Tom Holly as News 3 at 5 continues.
It's been a very busy afternoon around town with a number of accidents, most of which are cleared away. It's a stalled vehicle causing the biggest tie-up at the moment on westbound Tropicana at the Strip with the center lane blocked. That's all it takes to back up traffic all the way to Koval Lane. Work continues on the Buffalo interchange at Buffalo and Summerlin. More on that in just a moment. That's causing some minor delays. And watch out for a lot of traffic near the convention center. Of course, it's day number 1 of the National Association of Broadcasters Convention. NAB traffic is heaviest north and south on Paradise at Desert Inn Road. Tom Hawley reporting from Sky 3.
Okay, Tom, thanks. Well, one major traffic headache will soon be cured anyway. The Buffalo interchange is nearing completion. Bob Clausen found the project is going to make the commute much easier for close to 100,000 people every day.
The freeway on the west side of town comes out and takes an abrupt turn to the north. Okay. Summerlin Parkway extends out beyond that point, and currently it does not have any full interchanges built.
Enter the Buffalo interchange. We're on the Summerlin Parkway on-ramp, and you can see that it's just about finished up right now. And then right behind me over here is the interchange itself. It's just about completed, and when it is done, it's going to give full access to 95. Definitely going to make a lot of commuters very happy. Right now, people aren't very happy when they get tied up in traffic near Rainbow.
West Cliff and Rainbow is really a nightmare to try and get through that intersection, and you're going to have much less delay in getting to the expressway and to the downtown area. Way here, if you were going to go westbound on the Parkway, you would cross the Buffalo interchange and go around the loop and go west. And if you're at Washington and Vegas Drive, you'd come down and proceed this direction. This is an off-ramp going off to either go east or north or south on Buffalo.
The interchange will reduce traffic here by some 20,000 cars. Currently, some 90,000 move through here every day. It's rated at an F level, and just like in any school, you just can't do any worse than an F. When it is finished, though, the interchange is expected to give that grade a boost. But even before it all started here, this project took a little hammering. If you'll recall, a land deal involving former Mayor Ron Lurie and former city manager Ashley Hall had a few people asking some questions. The two co-own some real estate near Durango where the interchange would have been built. Both men wound up leaving city government in the aftermath of the controversy. The development plan for the interchange left Durango and landed here in Buffalo. The $6.5 million project will now start paying off to commuters about this time next month. Bob Clausen, News 3.
Now, the Buffalo interchange is closed for now, but apparently some people keep pulling off Summerlin up onto the interchange to check things out. Now, that's kind of dangerous, so the developer asked that you just hold off till around the 15th of next month.
This is a big day in Carson City. It's the beginning of the budget talks, or the first step possibly toward adjournment. Not the big budget items like the university system, public education, welfare, or the prison system. Those come later in the session. But joint meetings have begun between the Assembly Ways and Means and Senate Finance Committees. They'll be finishing off about 24 minor budgets. The bad news is that although the legislature has been in session for more than 3 months now, the most significant aspects of Governor Miller's plan, like government reorganization and SIS, have yet to be resolved. Southern California and major riots last April were followed by strong earthquakes in June. This year, the riots were avoided, so it seems appropriate, perhaps, that the earthquake should be minor, too. A small quake did hit the Yucca Valley area near Joshua Tree, California, early this morning. It measured a mere 2.9 on the Richter scale, so it did little to no damage. The strongest California quake last year measured 7.4.
Not bad outside today, a little cool, but hey, July and August will be here soon enough. Mike Bradley's along next with a forecast, and this is Monday, so good news. We've got some hard-to-resist puppies and kitties that need a new home after this.
When you're ready to buy that special home, look for the signs of personal banking at First Western Bank. We've been making home loans for more than 40 years, building a tradition of personal, friendly service. First Western Bank offers competitive rates and fast turnaround on most loans, from fixed and adjustable rate to construction and home equity loans. First Western Bank has loans for you. Call us today and begin receiving the benefits of personal banking.
We know how to help you save on Dodge Caravan during the National Minivan Sale. Let's say you want both elegance and value. Then check out this Grand Caravan LE. you can get up to $2,600 in total savings, including sale prices on luxury options like leather trim seats, CD player, ABS brakes, and more. Only at the Minivan Store.
Visit Chapman's Las Vegas Dodge, Wilden's Pride Dodge.
Italian cuisine, the food of love, the love of food. Welcome to DiNapoli at the Showboat. You won't find more authentic Italian food at such reasonable prices anywhere else in Las Vegas. Luscious lasagna, savory spaghetti and meatballs, delicious veal parmesan, and each is a complete dinner. Fine dining and gracious service at wonderfully affordable prices. The come-as-you-are pleasure of dining in DiNapoli at the Showboat.
Look, I'm eating corn on the cob, thanks to Super Poly Grip in the easy-to-use pump.
Super Poly Grip holds so tight, many denture wearers can enjoy more of their favorite foods, even corn on the cob. Super Poly Grip.
Monday, I soak my dentures. Tuesday, I brush. Wednesday, I soak.
Wait, Denture Cream does it all. Better. Denture Cream cleans twice as well as soaks, works faster, and has twice the mint. Denture Cream does it all. Better.
You know, spring has sprung. It's officially here. How can I put this delicately? Romance is in the air in the animal kingdom. We have got a great selection of puppies and kitties at the Nevada SPCA. This is Mighty Mite. He's about 6 weeks, just a gorgeous little tabby and white male. Litter was motherless, and he was bottle fed by a volunteer to keep him going, and he is just great, no problems at all. He's just looking for a lot of love and a good home, and he's going to make somebody a great pet.
And this is Susanna, a lab mix, a little bit of a sharp hay in there too, black and white toes. Can you see those? Yeah, kind of. She's a female, and she's very sweet and very healthy, and she would like a new home.
Well, this is TC, top cat, little gray and white guy, 6 weeks old, medium hair male, pretty sweet, kind of checking things out today. Real cute.
And we have some others on the videotape. They couldn't join us, but here they are. Baby's a 2-year-old female bearded collie and sheepdog mix. Be a great family dog. Goliath's about a 2-year-old Akita and Shepherd mix. He's also a male. Max, about 2 years old as well. A male Airedale. Very, very good animal with kids. Happy's about 1.5 years old. He's a male mixed breed. Looks like he'd make a pretty good watchdog. Lucky's a little older, about 2 years old. She's a female Australian sheepdog, a little shy at first. Needs older children. No young kids, please. Kitties need names. 6 weeks old, domestic medium hair gray males. Torties, about 6 weeks old. They're all female kittens with some striking coloring. And finally, we have some orange tabbies. These are males, about 12 weeks old. They need names, and more importantly, they need homes with lots of love. These are the people to call, Nevada SPCA at 736-0622. They're located at 4985 Paradise Road. Hats off to them for doing wonderful things for the homeless animals in our community. And thanks to you, too, for helping to control our pet population, having your pet spayed or neutered, as the case may be. Pretty nice Monday out there. Sunny skies, temperature 73 degrees. Pressure's currently steady and rather strong at 30.02. Humidity down at 10%. Winds north at 9. And air quality even in the good category today. A little bit cool for mid-April. High 74. That's about 5 off the mark. The morning low 56, 4 degrees on the high side. There's your record high of 98 set back in 1938 and the record low of 35 in 1968. This is a time of year when we do get a diverse temperature range. Take a look at the past 24 hours on the satellite picture. You can see we've got a pretty strong high pressure ridge overhead diverting just about everything but some high clouds. The jet stream and the storm track lie well to the north. Some of the strongest surface pressures we've seen in a while, so look for afternoon temps to really be rising this week. Along with some high cloudiness, we could see temps close to 90 by the end of the week. Look for light to moderate winds, but I think they'll be increasing a bit on Thursday and Friday as a weak front slides just north of the state. Current radar picture, checking things out, we see they are very, very feisty indeed across the Midwest. Thunderstorm and tornado advisories out tonight for Iowa, Missouri, Western Illinois, Oklahoma, and Arkansas. Some pretty heavy snow for April, too, across Wyoming and Colorado. And as you can see, some steady rain from Minneapolis all the way to Pittsburgh. Next 24 hours promises to be very stormy from the eastern Great Lakes all the way into the deep south. Some very cold air circulated by that low moving into western New York, and it's going to collide with some of the warm air down south. So look for advisories the next 24 hours. And if you're traveling anywhere from, say, Chicago to Buffalo up north, you could expect some traveling delays, so watch out for that. Let's check the forecast for tonight. Fair skies, decreasing winds, overnight lows of about 50 degrees. For tomorrow, it'll be mostly sunny, and the warmer temps will start to hit us. Light winds with highs 80 to 85 degrees. Lots of sun out at the lakes. Wind south 5 to 15, highs in the mid-80s, and mostly sunny and mild up at Mount Charleston with light winds and a very balmy afternoon temperature of near 60 degrees. In your environment tonight, our 4th annual Earth Fair takes place this weekend at Sunset Park. Now, we've added some new wrinkles this year, including environmental science exhibits. Now, they're all put together by students from Clark, Nye, and Lincoln counties. You're going to see some very creative projects related to water, energy, including solar and wind use, recycling, air pollution. Virtually every aspect of the environment will be represented. These kids have done some fantastic work, and it's great to see the next generation so involved with the environmental problems that we are all facing. I think you're really going to enjoy taking a look at what they've done. You'll see it all this Saturday, Channel 3's 4th Annual Earth Fair from 10 to 4 out at Sunset Park. Good information, food, fun, entertainment, a terrific day for the whole family. And come early, because once again, Star Nursery will be handing out free trees for as long as they last. And let me give you a clue. They don't last long. They go very, very quick.
in that line
So get out there early. We're looking forward to it much more, and the Earth Fair will be coming up for you all week. We'll have more weather coming up at 6.
Okay, thanks,
See you
Mike.
tonight.
Tearing down the walls of apartheid in South Africa is a slow-going, sometimes violent process on the road to equality. After this.
If you're hungry, I mean any time of day hungry, why buffet when you can feast? Fresh off the grill, all you can eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner. All with that special ingredient, PSV, Palace Station Value. Why buffet when you can feast?
The feast is all that you can eat at the Palace Station.
America's always been a country of inventors, a nation of relentless tinkerers, a land of improvisation. Businesses start in garages, hobbies turn into industries. And if you're Bank of America, you hold up your end of the job by making sure every business service is in place. For when the next brainstorm hits in the middle of the night, banking on America. Bank of America.
Mastriani Fashion Spring Blowout Sale. Thousands of designers, men's suits, sport coats, and slacks. All 100% wool, must go now. Suits valued to $375, now $99. Sport coats valued $375, now $69 to $159. Slacks valued to $110, now $45. Name brand shoes, Ballet, Bruno Magli, Pierre Cardin, and more, valued to $250, now $29 to $99. All merchandise has been tagged for this blowout sale at Mastriani Fashions.
Naturally, we'd like you to think of Lincoln as a leader in automotive safety. But just to be fair, here's a list of all luxury manufacturers who offer standard dual airbags and ABS on every car they make. Now, where were we?
Well, no final word on this yet because the information we have is from an anonymous Pentagon source, but the final report on the tailhook scandal will recommend that more than 140 people may face disciplinary action. Dozens of women, more than half of them naval officers, say they were pawed and otherwise sexually abused by drunken Navy and Marine Corps flyers at the three-day Tailhook Aviators Convention. That was here in Las Vegas at the Hilton back in 1991. Several top naval officers are already fired because of the scandal, including then Navy Secretary H. Lawrence Garrett III. The report is expected to be released this Friday and will probably trigger months of additional investigations.
About 80,000 people jammed a stadium in Soweto, South Africa today to remember Chris Hani. He's the African National Congress leader who was assassinated about 10 days ago. Nelson Mandela and Bishop Desmond Tutu both appealed, that is, for calm at the funeral because at least 26 people have died in protests following the assassination. Both leaders also used that occasion to reiterate their demand that free all-race elections take place immediately. Funeral goers were spirited but nonviolent. Sarajevo's Sniper Alley has earned its moniker in the past 2 days. Since Saturday, 11 people have been killed and another 42 wounded by sniper fire and mortar attacks. 5 minutes before a fragile ceasefire took effect in the city, a mortar hit a traffic intersection near a popular restaurant, killing 4 people. This war has been harder on civilians than any other in recent memory. 70% of the wounded are non-soldiers.
And a lot of finger-pointing going on in Washington as both Democrats and Republicans make busy assigning blame over the president's stimulus package. Now, to satisfy GOP demands, President Clinton might have to shrink his stimulus plan some more. President Clinton went before construction labor leaders to sell his scaled-back $15.5 billion stimulus plan and to slam Republican claims to be deficit fighters.
Folks, this is a crowd that had the government for 12 years. They took the deficit from $1 trillion to $4 trillion. Have they no shame? How can they say this?
Democrats clearly organized an all-out attack on GOP unity. Before meeting with Republican leader Bob Dole, Democrat leader George Mitchell warned Republicans they'll be held responsible if the economy falters or if more riots erupt.
And if a single American city goes up this summer because this summer jobs program hasn't been approved, it won't be the laughing matter that some of our colleagues are making it out to be today.
Senator Dole called that a stretch. He says civil unrest could be laid at the president's door.
Could be because they can't find jobs because the Clinton administration is undermining the economy so rapidly that a lot of people aren't out hiring anybody. They want to wait and see what the big tax bite's going to be.
Republicans clearly feel empowered. Their 43 votes in the Senate have kept the president from getting a vote on his stimulus plan. And one potential GOP defector, Arlen Specter of Pennsylvania, says he will not break rank.
I'm not about to make a change in position based on a trip by the president to my state.
Saturday, the president flew to Pittsburgh, an attempt to pressure Specter into backing the spending bill. $470 million would go to Pennsylvania. So for the time being, until some sort of compromise is reached, the stimulus package, including $4 billion in extended unemployment checks, is dead in the water.
Well, getting away from it all, around here anyway, often means a trip to southern Utah. But if you've got the time, we've got something different. Stay tuned.
Trees are an essential part of our environment. They produce oxygen, absorb pollutants, protect the soil from erosion, and provide shade and beauty. Trees keep our world in balance. Star Nursery will be giving away free 2-gallon pine trees to the first 5,000 people who stop by the Star Nursery booth at Channel 3's 4th Annual Earth Fair. Do your part. Plant a tree. It will make a difference. Come to Channel 3's 4th Annual Earth Fair Saturday, April 24th at Sunset Park and stop by the Star Nursery booth for your free tree.
Hey, you want to buy Toyota better at a lower price? With lower downs, lower monthlies, more choices, Toyota West got what you want. Because the warehouse discounts daily. Get $2,000 discounts on 93 Tercels. Get $3,000 discounts on 93 Corollas. Get $4,000 discounts on 93 Camrys. Why go from dealer to dealer or pay more than you have to? Take Decatur Boulevard 4 blocks north of Sahara and get it all right now. Toyota West, the Toyota warehouse, discounts daily.
Who'd have thought it? A great home like this at Sunburst by Falcon Homes, with a view like this, for just $650 a month. That includes everything for 30 years. We couldn't pass it up.
Who knows where rates will be 6 months from now? So we jumped at the chance to move to Panorama. A larger house and a super low payment.
Come on out to Falcon's Panorama and Sunburst at Sunrise. With 7 new models and the lowest rate since the 60s. Why wait?
It's spring break. And where is everybody?
In Lake Edna for the Colonel's Spring Break at KFC.
And we're celebrating with the Colonel's Dozen. Get 12 pieces of our world-famous original recipe chicken, large mashed potatoes with gravy, and a large coleslaw, all for just $10.99. The Colonel's Dozen, a complete meal for just $10.99.
A great deal for everyone.
Well, almost everyone.
They're tired of talk now, they're waiting for action. Coming up on News 3 at 6, the city and residents of West Las Vegas want to get a plan for revitalization of that area underway now. We'll show you what's being done and tell you how you can help. And one corner of the Strip is growing into a pirate's paradise. We'll take you aboard Treasure Island and dig up the latest developments there. Plus, a California construction company faces charges for killing a Nevada desert tortoise. Those stories and more coming up at 6.
Thanks to a wet winter, the wildflowers here have never been more plentiful or spectacular. Because of the same conditions, Northern California is having quite a wildflower season as well. Michael Kidd takes us to one of the most magnificent vistas in the West.
Adventurous Northern Californians might want to start here at Lake Oroville. Our wet winter has helped bring the water higher than it's been in years, offering a lot of outdoor activities like boating and hiking. There's also plenty of white water nearby for rafters and kayakers. But be warned, there is one spectacular spot where you'll have to leave your boat behind. This is definitely a hiker's paradise. Not known to many tourists, it's one of the hidden gems of the Sierra foothills, Feather Falls. Feeding the middle fork of the Feather River east of Lake Oroville, Feather Falls is the 6th highest waterfall in the United States, with a 640-foot drop. The 3.5-mile hiking trail ends at this lookout platform, offering an incredible view of cascading water and rainbows. The trail covers some rugged ground, so you better be in good shape if you want to give it a try. Getting there is a little complex, so check a map for the town of Feather Falls just east of Oroville. Don't forget your camera.
Have to make it there. That's beautiful. I've never heard of it even.
I don't think I had either, but it's worth a trip and a hike, it sounds like. That's our news for now. NBC Nightly News is next. We'll be back at 6 with more local news, and we'll see you then.
See you then.
A flaming and deadly end to the standoff in Waco 51 days after it began.
This is NBC Nightly News with Tom Brokaw.